need to do the hard work like you love it for your future self so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor later down the line. Some of you need to realize that there's no one coming for you. Bro, this isn't school anymore, this is life. If you don't take control of your life, you're guaranteed to end up a loser. That should be common sense, but most of you don't take it that seriously. Oh yes, I'll indulge in instant gratification for a little while longer and then take control of my life, because I'm only young once. Bro, don't you get it? You have to sacrifice your teens and 20s to be successful in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Just look at the people giving you the advice of you're only young once and enjoy your 20s and all that bullshit. Take a long hard look at them, bro. What do they look like? They're probably obese, they probably don't get attraction from the opposite sex, and they're probably not successful at all as well. Are you really going to take advice from these types of people that didn't make it in life and also don't have anything going for them at the moment except for a low-end job and an unhappy marriage? Some of you need to think twice on where you're getting your advice from. If you look at any successful person in history, they gave up a big chunk of their lives to chase success. Most of them gave up their teens and 20s to be more successful later on in life. The problem with you is that you only hear the advice of what you want to hear and not what you need to hear. On this channel, I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So you need to ask yourself, do you want to be successful? If you don't want to be successful, bro, fair enough, it's all good. You can do you and waste your life away doing dumb shit. But if you want to be successful and you're still indulging in the bad habits like playing video games, watching porn, and doing drugs, you need to understand the difference between instant and delayed gratification. Instant gratification gives you the pleasure of doing that activity at once or immediately. These are all the bad habits like I mentioned before, like playing video games, eating junk food, and watching porn. These give you an instant dopamine hit as soon as you complete them, but you feel like shit afterwards. You feel drained and even guilty of doing the activity in the first place. This is bad for you because you're overstimulating your dopamine receptors. And if you don't know what dopamine is, it's that feel-good chemical that gets released when we do something that makes us feel happy. So when you overstimulate them, anything that gives you less of a satisfaction, like doing the good habits, won't make you happy anymore. And the more you do the bad habits, the more of the substance, whether it be the video games or the drugs, they need to get the same sense of reward. So it's like the law of diminishing returns, where you don't get the same level of happiness that you used to get when you first started. Now you've dug a big hole for yourself, which you now have to climb out of, and it's going to be fucking hard, bro. Because I have been there. I have consumed every instant gratification activity that you can think of. Some of the bad habits like playing video games and watching porn I have done for more than 6 years, bro. And guess how it made me feel? I felt drained and unhappy all the time. I was wondering why that was the case for years and I couldn't figure it out, but the answer was right in front of me the whole time. As soon as I stopped the bad habits, which was fucking hard by the way, I felt better within months. If you're young and you're just starting these habits, please stop before you dig yourself a big hole like I did. So on the other hand, delayed gratification activities give you the pleasure later down the line, like when you've achieved a goal for yourself. When you're actually doing the habit, which are good habits by the way, you actually get no pleasure from doing it in that moment most of the time, unless you have been doing it for a long time to the point where you fall in love with the good habits. So what are the good habits? What I do and which got me onto self-improvement and what I recommend you do as well is gratitude journaling, exercising, reading, and meditating. Exercising is what I've been doing for the longest time since I was 16 years old and what I can give you the most advice about as well. The rest of the habits I only recently started, but I feel like I'm good enough to give you some good information and some good advice on that as well. At least I think I am. What you can add to all those habits is building a business as well. If you're a young man with an entrepreneurial mindset, building a business is key for you. I'm doing that right now with this YouTube channel, and I'm not saying that it has to be YouTube for you, but it has to be preferably an online business. Bottom line, bro, you have to do it for your future self. These good habits will only compound with time, so the longer you do them, the better you will feel. It has to most preferably be an online business because this will make you both time and location independent. Okay, so now you understand that you need to delay gratification for your future self. Now you need to make sure that you're consistent with it. Alright, so how do you stay consistent with it? It's simple. You need to have what we call a habit tracker with you. It's literally where you have a notepad, or you can do it on a computer if you're a little bitch. And have fucking hell, I didn't even mean to say that, bro. And you have dates on one column, and in the rest of the columns you have the habits. As each day passes, you need to tick off what you did on that particular day, whether it be all the good habits like I mentioned before or some of them. At the end of each day, you will have a sense of accomplishment which will release dopamine in your brain. The whole point of the habit tracker is to keep you consistent with the habits so the volume doesn't really matter at this point. Which means that if you're a complete beginner to the gym, you can do something like 10 minutes of exercise and tick off that box on your habit tracker. Same with the other habits like meditation. You do 1 minute of meditation, you get to tick off the box on the habit tracker. What you do have to do though is what we call progressive overload in the gym. Take that concept and apply it to all your habits. And by habits, I only mean the good habits. So, what is progressive overload? Progressive overload is when you do better than what you've done before in a session. In the gym, you can literally do this by increasing the weight that you lift, increasing the reps and sets that you do, increasing the time under tension you keep yourself under when doing the exercise, and also reducing the rest time that you take in between your sets as well. In terms of the other habits on your habit tracker, you can implement the same thing by increasing the intensity of what you're doing by just a little bit each week. So if you did 1 minute of meditation this week, just try to do 2 the next week, and so on and so forth. But don't go on progressive overload on something like gratitude journaling, because there's no point. Writing down 3 points for gratitude journaling is just more than enough. Use your common sense and apply progressive overload accordingly to the habits that you're doing. This is how you do it for your future self. Doing these habits daily will give you the dream body that you always wanted. It will give you the business that you dreamt of having. It will give you a sense of calm in your life, free of anxiety and depression. It will also fill you with a sense of gratitude every day. You will also have a wealth of knowledge because you've been reading every day. This shit doesn't happen overnight, bro. You need to do these habits daily to achieve the goals that you have. Some of you wish these good things to be in your life, like the business and your dream body, whilst doing the bad habits. Oh, someday I'll have a successful business. One day I will join the gym. And I used to be one of those people, bro. I mapped out the next 5 years of my life on a notepad while I was fucking high, bro. And I forgot about it until I recently found the notepad. I mapped out everything, like what I was going to do for a career, how I was going to quit my job after I graduated uni and everything, and how I would become a personal trainer and get paid the big bucks. But that never worked out. Because why? I didn't have the systems and the habits in place to achieve those goals. I was so wishy-washy with it and I had no real intent towards it. Don't be like the younger me or a million other young guys doing the same thing. So you need to choose now. Is it one day, bro, or is it day one? If it's day one, congrats, bro. You've started your self-improvement journey. If it's one day, you can keep dreaming and not make these things a reality. You have to realize that the only thing stopping you is you. Even though I said congrats, bro, don't take it seriously like you fucking achieved something, bro. Starting is just the tip of the iceberg. Starting your self-improvement journey is like being at the bottom and looking at the top of Mount Everest. With time, you'll get used to doing the hard work like you love it. And eventually you will start to like doing the hard work because you fall in love with the process and not necessarily the outcome. It's like going to the gym. Most of the people that go to the gym quit within days or weeks, but us who stay on this path realize that it actually gets easier with time when you go to the gym. But the normal people think that going to the gym is as hard as it's on the first day as it's on the third month as well. Now fair enough, bro, for some people it's actually hard on the third month as well. But for most of us, bro, we actually find joy in the workouts as the months pass by. For some of us, including me, it's our escape from the real world, where you put your music on full blast and go fucking hard. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Sacrifice comfort now for your future self.